Hi, I'm Max Brantley with the Arkansas Times on Tuesday, December 8th. It's a quiet, not very newsworthy day so far in Arkansas. People are still talking about Donald Trump's interesting announcement yesterday that all Muslims should be prevented from entering the United States. Constitutional problems, of course, not to mention a number of other un-American kind of complication from this sort of idea. I will note that Senator Jason Rapert of Conway, who is a supporter of Mike Huckabee, says this is something he can agree with Donald Trump on. A brilliant man, he thinks, on this particular issue. Conway, speaking of that city, its police and firefighters got good news today in the form of a judge's decision that their class action suit can go forward against the city for failure to continue to pay according to a pay grid that was financed by a sales tax increase in 2001. The city kept paying that new pay grid through 2010, but then they stopped. They say that breached their contract. Arkansas State University announced today that a New York school has gotten final accreditation approval to open an osteopathic college of medicine on the Jonesboro campus in August. There's an osteopathic medical school underway that hopes to open next fall as well in Fort Smith. Currently, UAMS has the only med school in the state. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Little Rock announced today that it had indicted 11 people mostly on drug charges, also some weapons charges, as a result of a 2-year investigation, Operation Dixie Days, in North Little Rock's Dixie Addition. There was a house out of which cocaine was sold day and night. One night after midnight, 14 people were counted within an hour coming up to the knock door and a back window, and knocking on it to get some cocaine. That business is now out of business. Tom Mars, a former state police director who spent 7 years as general counsel for Walmart, is coming back to Little Rock. He's going to be a senior counsel at the Friday law firm. Interesting news from American Electric Power, once the biggest burner of coal in the United States, a giant electric power company whose affiliates include SWEPCO, which has a major coal-burning plant in Arkansas. It's getting out of ALEC, the American Legislative Exchange Council, the conservative lobbying group for conservative state legislation that Koch brothers finance, because ALEC opposes alternative energy and is fighting Obama's clean power plan. American Electric Power, although it relies a lot on coal, has diminished the amount of coal burning it does from 75% of generating capacity 10 years ago to only 50% now. It sees the future, even if ALEC in the Arkansas legislature does not. I mentioned yesterday that Bruce Pennington, the former sheriff of Saline County, was going to be sentenced in federal court for using campaign money for personal expenses. He got 1 year and 1 day in jail, but he still faces some state charges. Raises questions about what's going to happen to some other state officials in Arkansas who also have been found to have used personal campaign money for personal expenses, but we'll consider them on another day. I'm Max Brantley. I'll be back tomorrow.
You feel it in your heart, the spirit of Little Rock. We've had that spirit since 1927, helping build our city by producing decades of leaders in the heart of our state. We are the heart of business and innovation, the heart of politics and government, the heart of arts and culture, and in our city beats the heart of a Trojan. UALR, we are Little Rock's team and Little Rock's University.